Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Hey, welcome to the show. This is the Get Your Happy On Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. Man, I always start my show off showing love to Matt Warner out there in Waverly, Nebraska, man, Empire Fencing. I appreciate all the love and support you guys continue to go give me and give to the show. You know, I was on the way down here. I was noticing the temperature has really changed here in Lincoln. It's a little chilly outside, to say the least, but I'm here and I'm safe, and I got a great show for you tonight. You know, I want you guys to understand something. I picked different topics to kind of go with my guests, and the topic I have for tonight is being an inspiration to others and uplifting others. And the reason why I picked that topic is because I'm giving you a little background information. This young man that I got as a guest tonight is like my big brother, and he was actually on the staff of the freshman team when I first came to Nebraska from Texas. And we've been joined at the hip ever since. But this guy's had a very interesting career, and we're going to get into all of that. But first of all, I got to bring him on because we got a lot to cover. Welcome to the show, Coach Samuels. Tony Samuels, I should call you, but I'm going to call you Coach Samuels.
No, you can call me Tony Samuel. You always call me T. Sam.
Sam.
We don't have to change up because we're live.
Okay, well, T. Sam, what do you call me?
Hey, you still V. Clyde.
Welcome to the show, man. I'm really honored that you took the time to do this. I know you're currently living in Vegas, and you happen to be in California at this time, and you was willing to take time to do the show. So I just want to give you a big, big thank you before we even get started, man, because you didn't have to do that for me, T. Sam, and you did it.
Well, you know, I enjoy watching you make your moves and your progress, and you're getting around and talking to a lot of great people and helping out just by your inspiration. And you know I can't turn you down based on what you're doing, and you're still my guy.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. And just before we get started here, I got to say this. The next time I'm in Vegas, you know I'm coming to see you.
I'm sure I'm going to see you. Hey, that's part of the deal.
That's why I come. Hey, listen, man. See, I want everybody to, we all know about certain parts, but I want to go back to the beginning, man. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up a few places. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago in the West Indies, 2 islands, 1 country. And when I was 10 years old, we moved to Jersey City, New Jersey. And I was in the 5th grade at that time. And when I graduated high school, I became a Cornhusker.
And that was the next question I was going to ask you, man. I mean, I knew that, but I wanted my audience to know that as well. But I'm still trying to figure out Jersey City to Nebraska. How did that happen?
Well, first of all, let's start with Trinidad to New Jersey. I had a series of culture shocks over my lifespan. Yeah. But, Monty Kiffin was a great coach, man. Monty Kiffin, of course, the defensive coordinator at the time for Nebraska, recruited the East Coast, recruited New Jersey. And he recruited a few of us guys to Nebraska. And it just so happened a young fella by the name of Rich Glover was a senior at Nebraska. He and Johnny Rogers and that crew, and they were going back-to-back national championships. And we were high school kids watching them play. So that's how Nebraska came on the radar for us. Myself and Larry Young and quite a few of the guys from Jersey.
Right. I remember that. But hey, look, before we go further on that, let's go back. You said Trinidad to New Jersey. How did that come about?
Well, my mom was a nurse, and she wanted something better for the kids. I'm the youngest of three of us.
Okay.
And so She moved to New Jersey a year ahead of us to get her proper paperwork. She was a nurse working in the surgery room over there in Trinidad, but she had to get all recertified in America and get the paperwork squared away. So she came a year ahead of us and got herself squared away, and then she sent for us. So we came. Okay. So she wanted a better life for us. That's what she said. She wanted us to get more exposure than Trinidad, and there was a lot more opportunity, a lot more work situations. We were just part of that migratory pattern, basically from the south to the north for work.
Gotcha. Well, T. Sam, this is a little off topic, but I gotta give you your props on something that you started me to doing. Probably back in I want to say 2013 or 14. But I remember you came to town one time and you stopped by my office, and I offered you some water, and I said, you want cold or room temperature? You said room temperature. And I want you to know that ever since then, I've been drinking water at room temperature. Yeah. I never drink cold water. I don't care if it's 100 degrees. Yeah. I don't care if it's 30 below.
Yeah.
Room temperature.
Hey, as a matter of fact, I'm drinking room temperature water right now.
What you drinking
out of your cup.
What?
Get your happy on. I'm showing the people right now.
Show them what's happening, man. I appreciate the love.
Because room temperature is the key.
I didn't understand it until you brought it to my attention, and I've been doing it ever since. I mean, and it's actually, I don't know, I actually think it's better for you.
Oh, it's absolutely better for you. But in this day and age, we can Google that and get a real good idea on why it's so much better for us.
Right. But T, let me get back to this, man. You came to Nebraska because you were you was watching these teams that Nebraska was putting out there that's winning national championships back to back, and you say Monty Kiffin is the guy that did the recruiting on the East Coast.
Monty Kiffin came and spotted us and recruited us. Coach Osborne was entering his first year as the head coach. Oh, so it was an interesting combination. And myself and Larry Young. Larry was one of the top running backs in the nation that year. And in those days, the technology wasn't such where we had a lot of exposure. Recruiting was late. We went well into November before we started really getting a lot of attention by college schools. And Larry was the big dog, and everybody came to see him. And while they were there, they'd come in, the coaches, and sit and watch film. And so every time they came to visit Larry, I knew there were going to be some coaches sending for me.
I got you.
Yeah. And then so when Ohio State recruited the two of us, well, then the floodgates opened. If Ohio State's going to recruit us, everybody else in the area was going to recruit us.
Yeah, right. Wow. So y'all both end up coming to Nebraska.
At Nebraska. Yeah. Yeah.
At Nebraska. I often talk about, sometimes with some of the fellas, we talk about how we all met up in Lincoln, because a lot of my friends to this very day are not from Nebraska, but we met at Nebraska.
Yeah.
And they became lifelong friends, man. I mean, we're brothers actually, because that's how I look at you. That's how I look at Larry Young. That's how I look at all of them. Rich Glover, Johnny Rogers, let's go, Jeff Kinney, all those guys, man. They're like brothers to me, And I think that Nebraska has always been a very special place because the coaching staff, man, I got to share this part. I can remember the coaching staff. Coach Osborne was always kind of laid back. But, man, them assistants, boy, they were not laid back. I'll just say it like that. Now, what was your experience like when you were at Nebraska?
Well, the first thing you're talking about, Coach Osborne, the thing I learned, because first of all, I went to Nebraska at 17 years old. My birthday's late in November. So I was a 17-year-old with not a whole lot of experience, worldly experience, other than coming from Trinidad to New Jersey, but I was still young and inexperienced. And Coach Osborne, as I watched him over the years, I can't be specific when it happened, but I remember when I realized he was letting his coaches be themselves. And so everybody had their own personality. And I thought when I realized that, I thought that was the coolest thing, because that also meant he was going to let us be ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to flourish in that environment because of that. Because, as you well know, I'm a little different than most people. And I need my space. And so I was allowed to be me. I never was late. I never missed practice. I worked hard, but I was able to be me. And I watched him allow the coaches and the players and people on the staff be themselves, because he was himself.
Right. Well, the one thing I remember is over the years, from your playing days all the way up to my playing days, we always had personalities,
That's a good way to say that.
I'm trying to be politically correct here. We had some characters, I'll say that.
Yeah, we had some characters.
Yeah, we had some characters, because you had Dollar Bill too.
Oh, we had Dollar Bill. One of the great orators. Yeah.
So now some of the players that you played with at Nebraska was Dollar Bill, and you said Larry Young. Who else did you play?
We had a whole crew. Mike Fultz. Our freshman class was a pretty good group. Mike Fultz was a great one. You know, we had a lot. We had a few other guys from Jersey. Offensive lineman Stan Waldemore came in. We had Vince Veracamo transferred in. I Am Hip was a year behind us. Dodie Donnell was a year behind us. James Whiteman was a great linebacker out of Omaha North. He came in. Jeff Carpenter, a kid out of, when I say kid, we would say age, out of Iowa, Council Bluffs, Iowa. And to this day, we're lifetime friends. We've lost a few guys along the way.
Right.
Bill Barnett, Lawrence Cooley. I can just go on and on and on. We've had, and we just bonded. That first couple weeks where you're not sure. I'm sure you went through it too.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely. Coming to this mixture of people from all over this country, and everybody's got something different about them.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to sit back and try to figure them out a little bit and try to understand where they're coming from, because some of them are completely different than what we were used to.
Oh, absolutely. And
it took some time, right? It took a little time. But once we got into it, we started realizing that, you know what, we got a lot of differences, but we got more in common than we have differences.
Right.
Once we got to that, I thought that was the revelation for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I know y'all was holding it down before I even got here, but the one thing that I really want to drive home is I agree with the unity part. After we got to know each other, boy, now we could give each other a whole bunch of business, but nobody else could give you no business.
Oh, no, nobody from the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you notice, I'm being very careful with my choice of words.
I like that. Well, I
don't want Bach to have to work too hard over catching all these words that can't go on the air. So yeah, but no, I used to notice that a lot too, man, because we were, you're right. We would give each other the business.
Mm-hmm.
But man, let somebody on the outside try to give anybody the business. Yeah. And there was a problem.
There was a problem. Yeah. And then I liked how eventually, as time went on, if you remember from your freshman year, I assume that there's a lot of carryover.
Oh yeah.
After your freshman year or during your freshman year, you got used to the different lifestyles in the dorms, and you branched out. You started meeting people outside the college scene, and you
Right.
started getting more and more familiar with Lincoln. And then
Yep.
eventually, of course, we had to go and get familiar with Omaha because
Yep.
there was a lot more commonality for us in Omaha than in Lincoln.
Right.
And then we just kept branching out.
Right. And you know, and it helped too when you got one or two guys that were from Omaha.
And they took us right into their homes and accepted us and took care of us and fed us and the whole nine.
Well, I remember I was me and Nate when we got here, we was kind of hurting for food that we grew up eating.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they took us down on 24th Street, and that's when Skeets was on point.
Skeets.
Y'all don't know nothing about those Skeets, man.
Man, that Skeet. And don't forget Matoyas. You know, they had two of them right up the street from each other.
Yeah,
Skeets
man,
was the one we all were taking the Skeets first, I think.
Yep, that was the first because Russ G and Big Daddy, Brent Williams. Big Daddy said, "Hey man, we going up to Omaha." Well, we didn't know where Omaha was, but you know, if y'all going, we going.
We going.
You know, and I think about some of the guys, man, that we had. When I say characters, I think of people like Junior Miller.
Yeah.
I think about John Minor, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, there were some very, very unique individuals that came through Nebraska, man. Who was probably the most interesting guy that you can say you played with? Because I heard stories about this one guy, but I'm going to see if it's the same guy.
We had so many interesting guys. Some, you know, and for me, I was a little bit on the reserve side. You know, you've always known me to be on more of a reserve side, but I always had control of my surroundings.
Right.
But I had some guys that didn't say much that became some extremely interesting guys. But then we had the ones that you heard coming from down the block. You can hear them coming in the building, and you're on the other side of the building. So we had different ones. But in my class, now Dollar Bill was one of them. Now Dollar came the year after us.
Uh-huh.
And the minute we met him, oh, let me tell you, he fit right in immediately. I mean, when I tell you immediately, but he was a special one because he was extremely brilliant, still is, of course.
Yeah.
He could work on cars. He used to work on cars. None of us had cars, and he had this old Beta Volkswagen, and he actually had a fan, an old school fan on the dashboard. And when he started that Volkswagen, the first 20, 30 seconds, Rick, there was smoke all in the car. You know those days. And then winter, summer, or not, the window had to be down enough so the fan and the windows blow that smoke out. And then we went anywhere we wanted to in that Volkswagen.
Oh man!
So he jumps right out at me.
Yeah, you know, I'm sitting there thinking about some of the guys, man. I mean, Odious Lee. Yeah, Rodney Lewis, Russell Gary.
Yeah.
You know, and rest in peace.
Big Daddy, you mentioned Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, Brent Williams. I mean, dude, there was Jimmy Williams, Toby Williams. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. I mean, I really, really do appreciate those times. The older I get, the more I appreciate those times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the beauty of those times, I remember thinking and then looking back, of course, but you know, if you remember your senior year in high school, and we all thought we had arrived. We had the world completely understood and figured out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We was all geniuses.
And then we showed up to the dorms, and we get checked in, and then we walk into that training table where all those grown-up men, juniors and seniors on the team, And now we start looking around and realizing that we're not as good as we thought we were at this point, but we're going to be. But look at these grown men all around us.
Yeah, the thing I think I remember the most that was the funniest to me was when you go to the training table as a freshman, they make you sing, and you had to get up and sing in front of the whole team.
Yeah.
And there wasn't an option. It wasn't like, no, I ain't doing it. Oh, yeah, you're doing it. Because you got these grown men in there saying, yeah, get up and sing. And, man, I mean, I to this day, I can't sing at all. But they made me sing that day.
Oh, yeah. That was the rite of passage.
Yeah. But once you did it, it was like, it's like all the pressure was off because now you're one of us.
Yeah.
And that was always a really good feeling, man. But it was good because, that was only your freshman year. You still got 3 or 4 more years to make other people sing. So,
oh, yeah.
So we had our share of fun. Now, Coach, let me ask you this, T-Sam. When you got done playing in Nebraska, you went to the league, and then you came back because you was on that staff my freshman year, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. I remember all you guys, Russ G and Rodney, as we call him, Lou Lovely.
Yeah, Lou Love. Pretty pimpin' Russ.
Yeah, I was there when Jimmy Williams and Turner Gill and Irving, and I remember all those guys. Yeah. I was coaching the freshman team for a couple of years.
And you was, because well, they don't have the freshman team now, I know, but back then they had that freshman team for quite a while.
Oh, that was, to me, if I didn't have that freshman team as a player, I think I would have had a tougher time transitioning into the college world.
Right. Yeah, because you got a chance to kind of get your feet wet.
Get your feet wet. You had to remember that nice little short schedule, 5 games.
Yep, 5 games.
You practice by yourself. And guys like me that just finished playing, and sometimes a couple of high school coaches, they were the coaches. So we were able to teach you guys from a younger perspective.
Right.
Former players with experience and would take you guys and teach you.
Right. Because I remember Dollar Bill was my position coach, actually.
Yeah.
I remember that. Dollar
Bill was coaching the wingbacks and receivers.
Yep. Little Dollar. I used to ask him a question, and it was like I kind of knew the answer, but I wasn't sure. But I didn't want, when you're a freshman, you don't want to make no mistake.
Yeah.
And Dollar would always say, "Show you right when you know you're right." Oh, Dollar, it gave me confidence because he actually believed in us.
Yeah.
And all you guys were like that, man. I mean, y'all was hard, but y'all was fair. If you messed up, y'all let us know. But if you did what you're supposed to do, you let us know that as well.
Oh yeah.
And that really kind of laid the foundation for us going forward, because I'm thinking about Roger Craig coming in. Nate coming in. I came in. We had a fullback from Omaha named Craig Holman.
Big Craig Holman. Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I mean, and I have really good memories from those times, man. And I just want to, I don't know, I just had to go down memory lane with you because I just think it's something that the public needs to know, because these are the stories that they don't get to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they know about the, what score was or what your record was, or who certain players were, but they don't know the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I wanted to get to with you. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back. And then we're going to get into more about what Coach Sam, I call him T-Sam, what he has been through. Don't y'all go anywhere. This is 93.7 The Ticket. This is to Get You Happy on out.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to thank you all again for your continued service. November is off and running. Check this out. Get up to $12,000 off or 0% financing on select new vehicles. We have great lease specials with new Trax and Trailblazers starting at $299 per month and new Blazer EVs leasing for $399. Great payments, discounts, and of course, 0% financing. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All financed with approved credit, leases with $2,500 down.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger in the mall over a stuffed T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a lame holiday deal, relax in the Black Card Spa with some hydro massage feels. Instead of being trapped at your in-laws, escape to any of our 2,600 Planet Fitness locations. Sign up today for the Planet Fitness Black Card. Just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th. See Club for details.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break.
There's quite a situation going on.
What?
Jake's been asked to step away on Fridays from now on.
Yeah,
they want to break. Young Ben has been dubbed as the curse breaker. He's been dubbed as the curse breaker, and Jake's been asked kindly to step away.
Just for Fridays.
Just Fridays
only.
Game
day only. Game day eve only.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Well, T-Sam, we done covered quite a bit, but I just got a couple of texts. I got one from Odious Lee. I just want to shout him out. Any comments?
Shout out to Odious.
We got nothing right now. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll have some here in a minute. So my big brother Odious Lee is definitely, hey man, send me that link. Send me that link. But no, T-Sam, I will say this, man. We had, it was kind of fun, right, for me to go down memory lane with you. But I want you to share some of the stuff that since you left Nebraska. Can you kind of give us I guess it would be the Cliff Notes version, because you've had a very extensive career coaching. And I'd like to, if you could you share some of the stops you've had along the way of your coaching career?
Well, sure. After being a grad assistant at Nebraska, I was bumped up to what we called back then a part-time assistant. Mm-hmm. And my first full-time job was at Western Michigan University. I went there in 1982. So I was there for the 83 season. And Jack Harbaugh of the Harbaugh brothers, the dad, he was the head coach. He was the head coach there. And I was there for 2 seasons coaching defensive line.
Gotcha.
And then after that, I went to Stanford University coaching the defensive line. And the head coach there was Jack Elway.
John's dad.
John's dad.
Wow. Okay.
And 2 completely different personalities. When I tell you, Jack was high. Jack reminds me of the youngest son, Jim, a lot.
Okay.
John Elway was a sort of I'll throw a name out. The older folks would know the name, but Jack Elway was more like a Walter Matthau kind of guy.
Yeah.
From The Odd Couple,
Yeah,
they were both very good at what they did, but they did it from 2 completely different angles. So I was able to learn 2 completely different angles and enjoyed it immensely. And then I was at Stanford for 2 years, and Gene Huey was still coaching receivers at Nebraska.
Coach Hewitt.
Oh, Coach Huey, and that's Gino to me.
Yeah.
Affectionately known to me as Senior Huey. That's another story we will talk about some other time. And so he called me up. Hey, Tony, how you doing? What's going on? And he goes, hey, I got Tom here in the background. I want to talk to you. And I can only call him Coach. I've never called him Tom.
Right.
Hey,
No, we still call him Coach.
No, I just don't know how to do that. And so, hey, Coach, how you doing? He said, well, Tony, we've got an opening here, and we think you should be time for you to come back.
Wow.
And so there it was. I left in 82, and in 1986, I was brought back when George Darlington was moved to coach the secondary. And then I was moved in to coach what we called back then the defensive ends, even though we were outside linebackers. But I was brought back to coach the position I played.
Gotcha.
And so I was there for 11 years.
Wow.
11 seasons.
Coaching the Huskers.
Yeah, coaching the Huskers. Back home. In my opinion, I was back home.
Wow.
And, from the day I started coaching the freshman team, I was surrounded by some really, really talented guys. And you saw the talent around us up there. You saw it all those years later on your team. Our group weren't any different. When I was coaching, I was coaching you guys. You saw that talent we had.
Yeah.
We had Rathman and Craig and then our boy came in from Coffeyville.
Like Michael Lovelace Rozier.
Rosie came in from, and we had that whole crew. So I was able to watch all you guys. Russell Gary, man, I thought that was one of the greatest guys I'd ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And, and so I spent 11 years there. And one of the reasons I wanted to come back, as I've mentioned before, in watching those other guys in my senior year in high school win back-to-back national championships, I thought we'd show up and win the national championship as a player. Never happened.
I got you.
And so that was the carrot for me. And so we came back, and of course we ended up winning 2 in a row. And then we lost the championship. We played Texas and lost our opportunity to play in the championship game. But that was my last season, 1996. And then I ended up, I went to New Mexico State University as a head coach, and I was there for 8 years.
Okay.
And I had a great experience there, one of the best learning experiences in my life, to be quite honest with you. And then from there, I went to Purdue for a season, coached defensive end. Was very fortunate I inherited 3 defensive ends, and all 3 of them went to the league. Rob Ninkovich went and won a few Super Bowls over there with the New England Patriots.
Got you. Yeah.
And Ray Edwards and Anthony Spencer were the 3 guys. I was only there 1 season, and I had a phone call from some people that said, we think that you still want to be a head coach. And Southeast Missouri State called. And I went there, and I was a head coach there for another 8 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And both programs as a head coach, really challenging schools, very, very tough programs to have success. But I had a great time. We made it happen at some point, but it was hard work, but it was good work. And both places I went, the majority of the staff had Nebraska ties. So we took the system with us wherever we went. And after SEMO, I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna sit down and I want to write a book, and I'm gonna move to Atlanta. The good food, good weather, good music, all the things I like. And I can get on the highway and get to a nice ocean down there in Florida somewhere in 3 or 4 hours. So that's what I did. Well, that didn't last long. I had a guy ask me to help him out, just be around and help him out at Georgia State. They just started football. Next thing I know, they called me in the spring on a Friday, and spring ball was starting that Monday. And they said, guess what? Our defensive line coach just took a job.
Oh, wow.
So can you help us out through at least spring ball? And, of course, the bug bit me again.
Oh, absolutely.
We went and I coached there 1 year. And then Barney Cotton is the offensive coordinator at UNLV. Tony Sanchez, who was a New Mexico State guy, he was a receiver there, was the head coach. And they called me up. And Tony goes, well, you still like the desert? I said, well, I love the desert. He said, well, we got a job. Why don't you just come take the job? I said, I've never been to the UNLV campus. Can a guy at least come see it? And next thing I know, I was there for another 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, well, actually 6.
At UNLV?
Yeah. And then 2020 was my last year. COVID hit. Tony was let go. And I said, you know what? At some point, we have to stop. So that's when I stopped. But I had an incredible run. I had one of the best experiences. I felt like my job was my hobby. And as you well know, you know how I talk to the players one-on-one on the side. That never stopped. I still did that. I learned that from the great Jesse Owens. I read his book, and he always talked about how he'd walk up on a guy and just talk in their ear for a little bit and keep on moving.
Yeah,
I did that my whole career, as you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pick your point and keep it moving.
Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Yeah.
Well, I was sitting there listening to you, man. I mean, first of all, congratulations on the career. I mean, that's very impressive to go from Trinidad to New Jersey to Nebraska, to all of these different stops and have success at all of them. I mean, that's special. I mean, a lot of people don't get that opportunity. Now, your last stop was at UNLV, so you decided to make Las Vegas home. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Because as you well know, the summers are hot.
Yeah.
But once you get through the summer, there's about a 3 to 4 month window that you really have to treat it like a Nebraska winter as far as how you move.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I do like the desert. I really do. And so I've been here and I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Well, like I say, man, I'm just sitting there thinking about your career, man. It's very, very special, and you're a very special guy, man. And I want to give you your flowers while you're still here. You know, I'm really proud of you. I'm honored to call you my big brother, and I'm really, really, really impressed with how you've handled, because you've had to deal with some adversity, and you've dealt with it, you know, and that's impressive as well, because everybody can't deal with adversity, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, adversity takes a lot of people totally out of character. Well, hey, listen, we're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back and wrap the show up. Don't y'all go anywhere. This is 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on out.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA fighters on Saturday, December 7th with Violence Fight League 2 at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now is the perfect time to go, with Nebraska football in between the regular season and a bowl game. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $395 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 1003769, $395 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, $5,250 to its signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See delivery details.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Well, man, I tell you, see, Sam, I've had a blast, man. I only got about 2 or 3 more questions for you, but first one I got to say is this: how long have you been retired now?
I retired in 2020.
So you get,
and so it's more or less 4 years. It's not really 5. You know. Yeah.
Well, what do you miss the most about coaching? Just out of curiosity.
The players. I enjoyed being around the players. I used to enjoy those meetings. I used to like being able to see a guy coming from a distance, and if I said a couple words, maybe I can help him out. As you well know, I had this knack for reading body language, so I can tell when someone was going through something.
Right.
And so that was the biggest part I missed, and of course, you know, the game. You and I both know game day is game day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's nothing like it. You know, as a coach, as a player, game day is still game day.
Well, you know, the funniest thing, it's funny you say that because I was sitting there thinking practices back in the day were harder than the games.
Oh.
I mean, I remember that, man. Those Tuesday and Wednesday practices was brutal. I mean, come Saturday, it was like, man, this is easy.
Yeah. You look forward to game day.
Yeah. You know, and I got to give a special shout out to, you know, to just the coaching staff. A lot of them are not here anymore, but man, I just want to recognize, you know, people like Coach Corrigan.
Yes.
Man, God, very special guy, but no nonsense guy. Yeah, Coach Corrigan, he wasn't trying to hear nothing. I mean, and if a running back ran out of bounds, you think he committed a felony. He would just lose his mind behind stuff like that, you know. What are you doing running out of bounds? Yeah. Run back in there and get that extra yard.
Yeah, you can lose playing time over running out of bounds for Iron Mike. Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I just think about some of those guys, man, and you know they really, really played a major part. And you know, I got to give a special shout out to Coach Osborne, you know, because he's, I mean, he has such an impact on so many of us, you know, and still a good person to this very day, and don't have to be. You know, this man is a legend, but he's still humble as ever, and I respect him even more for that.
Yep.
Look, I got my final question. I got to ask you. After all the coaching and lifting up other, you know, I mean, you've touched a bunch of people's lives, including mine, but you've touched a lot of people's lives over these years of coaching. I just want to know, when you do get a little downtime, how does T. Sam's get his happy on?
Well, you know, T. Sam's still T. Sam. So, you know, I'm too old to play basketball anymore. So I can't go run up and down a basketball court. So I've got a road bicycle. I ride on paved roads, off the roads. I go to trails, paved trails, and I'll get on my bike and I'll get a few miles in, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles on the bike, 3 times a week.
Wow.
And I'm actually, so after 2020, I really made my mind up that I wanted to write a book.
Oh, okay.
And I started the book and I was going real strong for a couple years. And you know how we do in the beginning. I thought I was going to write this book in 3 months and I was going to be done and I'm going to get a book out there so I can tell my story. And I kept writing and I go back and redo and there was a stretch. I took 6 months. I said, I'm not touching it. And then I came back with a whole new approach to it.
Gotcha.
And of course, you knew I was writing a book.
Yes.
But now I'm close to the end. I'm finally close to the end.
Well, look, hey, T-Sam, we got a wrap, man. I just want to say again, thank you for everything. And everybody that tunes in, man, I appreciate you. I never take anything for granted. And I wrap my show the same way every week, so this is not going to be any different. Every day you blessed to see, it's just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on.
Okay. Quick shout out to the people out here struggling, Rick. That's those fires and treacherous, man. It's been rough.
You already know, man. Hey, prayers to California, man. Hey, y'all, I'll see y'all next Sunday night.